I think there's some other really good covers of this song, too. I'm trying to remember who made them, though. But, eh. Okay, so the place we left off on yesterday is we actually need to get the account stuff done on the back end. So here we are in accounts, stats, and I don't think any of these stats actually fetch properly. They might. We might have finished that part. Yeah, a lot of that actually looks okay to me. Yeah, so I think we actually got that part done yesterday. But we'll double check. We need a unique key prop. That one's fine. We definitely should, but that's not the issue there. Account stats, total 25. Yeah, okay. So our stats are actually fetched just fine. We did finish that part yesterday. Cool. All right. Yeah. Synth whip time. Yeah. All right. So if we have those values, we just need to actually get them in here. And yeah, my main thought is that we probably want to style the graphs in like a smaller way. We also want to have a loader here. And we might want to give it like a min height. We'll just call that part good. Let's just do a refresh. Well, here's what we'll do. Right, margin top 30 VH. Oh, you just saw the Simba meme? Yeah. I thought it was good. I didn't make it completely. Someone else did it as like jobs at startup be like. And I was like, ooh, I can repurpose that meme a little bit because that's what memes are good for. That's the whole point of memes. Yeah, it works for all sorts of stuff. Yeah, whoever made that meme is a genius. I cannot take credit. All right, so then, yeah, in here, we basically want to do the same thing. I know, right? This is not flex get or flex call. This is flex row. Ooh, did we actually fetch account stats? Date, amount. Oh, because we haven't created new accounts. That's annoying. So yeah, we're gonna have to think about that. Ooh, and I just had a thought, right? This like welcome, like just do these tasks one by one thing. We could actually turn that into like an onboarding, like percentage of like you're ready to go kind of thing. I'm gonna add that to the notes. That is post MVP. And we don't have like an order for these, but implement persistent cross page onboarding progress bar and instructions. Maybe it goes in the header. Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be important. So yeah, we're going to want to like majorly brainstorm that part. Okay. So then back to it. Yeah, we're going to have another bar chart. Ah, we just needed a height. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Oh, and I missed a follow. Cantalon, thank you. And whoever subscribed, appreciate you. Thanks for the sub. Oh, and hold on. What did I miss, Talented? Do. So your onboarding uses AI. Basically, you explain really well to AI how you want each person to onboard, and it smartly guides them through the onboarding without asking them questions they don't need to answer and such. Could have done it by making a ton of rules, but it works well like this also, with a lot less of you having to code a bunch of extra stuff. I could see that being good. Oh, that was you, Alex? Thank you. Appreciate that. Like, do you present a progress bar, or do you just present like a next step? Like, what does the presentation of that look like, Talented? I'm curious. And then I think the data that we actually have is the wrong time frames, but we'll do this. We may even want to track like active accounts as well. But I'll call that good. I think I actually want to just copy and paste the stats that we have over on the other pages. Oh, but hold on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Okay, so hold on, talented. Let me read this. Um, it just knows what is relevant and irrelevant and returns the questions it asks in JSON, which you display on the page as a form. And it includes potential answers that they can just choose from, too. Like if it asks them to choose a name for their voicemail, it gives them an input box. But below it has a few options. It could be based on previous answers, like their name and such. It does have a progress bar, and the AI basically just returns you a 0 to 100 in the JSON every time. Do you want to have business hours or be open 24/7? If they say 24/7, it doesn't ask them what days they are open. Talented, I think you could turn that into an actual product. Like you can make that like embeddable, like as a service. I think you could actually pivot and extract that into like a separate side project. I think that'd be a really good idea. It's a bit of a distraction. You'd be surprised how many actual businesses spin out of another business. How you would make it generic so that other people could use it would be tricky. So they would have to like do the prompting themselves. So then you setting that up would be tricky. But dude, I really think you're onto something. I think that would be a really cool product on its own. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. You could like dog food it within itself. Yep. Yeah, 100%. I think a big part of it would be allowing people to brand it, right? So making sure that the styling is easily like overridable, but having like a set of themes that they could pick from would be nice. I don't know. I think you're really onto something there, man. How you monetize it would be the tricky part, like what the costs are. Dude, I think you're really onto something. I'm putting it in like the protected 6 months, but I'd happily work with you on that. I think it's something that we could dog food Waltr on as well. So totally up to you. Just throwing it out there. I really like that idea though. So, if you don't pursue it, would you be upset if I did in 6 months? Okay. Just double checking. Like, honestly, I'd rather bring you in on it. We could like collaborate on that. I think we could even pitch like VC on it. Like, that could be a Y Combinator project, in my opinion. I'm not sure it would have like the scale that Y Combinator would want, but I think it's definitely worth applying. Yeah, I think that's one of the best use cases of AI without like being obviously AI, right? Like users are going to push back on it and be like, I don't want some stupid AI, but if it's just a service, then you're good to go, right? Like, no, it's just a service you're consuming. They don't need to know that it's AI under the hood. You'll pitch that to your investors, obviously, but I think, yeah, there's going to be a lot of like AI burnout for consumers. They don't care if it's AI. It just needs to work. So yeah, I'd say for like the pitch meetings, AI for sure, but yeah, clients don't give a shit. I think you're really onto something with that. I like the idea. I just realized this should probably be in a card. I don't remember if it's a page card or a full page card, though. I guess we'll find out. Yep, full page card is what we wanted. All right, so yeah, for quotas, yeah, the accounts part was the easy part. How we end up fetching the stats for each of these things would be important. Yeah, yeah, it's really smart, talented. You're very talented. Sorry, that was just a terrible joke. That was just an awful joke, and I should feel bad. Ooh, an eagle talon. That is a blast from the past. Oh. Yeah, dude. It was a. I didn't realize the Eagle was a joint venture between Chrysler and Mitsubishi. Hmm. I had no idea. But yeah, dude, these are a blast from the past. It does look a lot like a Mitsubishi, now that I think about it. Okay, so like you're a big Eagle Talon fan, huh? Hmm. I didn't realize the Eagle Wagon was actually the same company. I love the Eagle Wagon. Oh my god. This is my favorite car of all time. Like look at it. It's such a badass wagon. Oh my god, dude. The only better ones are the ones with the wood paneling or fake wood paneling on the side. Oh, the Eagle Wagon is my favorite car of all time. If I get rich, I will own one. I will absolutely own one. Oh, this is the one. Oh, it just needs to be like lifted a bit more with some beefier tires. Oh, I love this car so much. It's so cool. Oh man, if I ever make money, I will have the coolest Eagle wagon you ever seen. Where's some like lifted ones? Oh, they made a short one? The camback. I didn't know about that. Come on, show me a monster. Show me one of the monsters. They don't have a monster in here. Hold on. I guess they called it the camback. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Yes. Oh, goddamn Pinterest. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Yeah, dude. I don't know if I want it quite that big, but yeah, dude. Productize your onboarding flow and buy one. Yeah, damn right. Are they expensive? No. I mean, I wouldn't say they're expensive to maybe buy. They are expensive to maintain, and they get terrible gas mileage. It's basically a Jeep, right? It's basically a wagon on a Jeep frame. And maintaining them, right? Like parts for them would suck. Like, you know, you don't want to treat it as a daily driver, is the main part. Unless you're rich. Yeah, dude, they are just so fucking cool. Ah, yeah, my favorite car. Yeah, like that's definitely too tall for me. I would need like a step ladder that like kicks down. Yeah, you got to be rich because it would be your second car, you know? I can't afford a second car. I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm a non-famous Twitch streamer. This is like more like what I'm looking at, right? That's closer to probably like what I would go for. I'd probably still need a step ladder though. I'm short. Ah, thanks, Alex. All right, so yeah, the thing we got to do. The way this is actually going to need to work is, right, we want to show stats for every balance that you have. And we want to show stats for every quota that you have. Which means that we need to do like parallel fetching for each of those. And how we manage the state of loading those is going to be interesting. This is really where like React Query would probably be the best move. Nahome, what do you mean by that? You're saying like, oh hell no, what is this related to the AMC Eagle Wagon? Or are you saying something about like the font, I guess? Building a software as a service called Waltr. Right? So think about quotas and balances for billing purposes, right? So hosting providers need to track bandwidth, games need to track internal currencies. Anytime they spend building those systems is time they aren't shipping features. And no, not Next.js, because this is a dashboard. There's no need for server-side rendering whatsoever. It is React. The marketing side is Astro. And yeah, I really do need to implement these commands over on YouTube. I'm slacking. So yeah, the Docs marketing site is Astro and MarkDoc. The dashboard is built as a React SPA using Vite and Mantine. And the backend is using AWS Lambda with my own homegrown wrapper around a thing called Architect. DynamoDB is the database. Why not Next.js? Because I don't need server-side rendering for the dashboard. If you don't need server-side rendering, Next.js is actually overkill. Not necessary. Probably a bad pattern. Why spend money on a server when it's just static assets? Yeah, I massively disagree with Vercel's marketing. They have a vested interest in convincing everybody that server-side rendering is important for every application, which it just isn't. But they make money off convincing people that it is. No, I don't do that. No. You want to build something? Build it yourself. Ideas guys are cheap. No. I'm not going to contract with a random person I met on YouTube. No. Yeah, maybe if we met on Twitch. I'm kidding. No, YouTube's great. Appreciate you being over there. I need the watch hours. And that's fine. Eventually, you're going to need to pay someone to maintain it. And what's up, Array of Hope? Once you've built it, how do you modify it? How do you make sure the modifications are actually doing what you want without adding security vulnerabilities? If you think you can do all that with Cursor, go for it, man. You'll find out. No. I'm not talking about the technology you use to build it. I'm saying you're going to need an actual software developer to maintain it eventually. If you think you can do all that with Cursor, good luck. All right, so the way we want to do this then. In what case do you need a software developer? I don't know. You'll find out. Have fun. That's part of the fun, isn't it? I'm not saying have fun in like a negative way. I'm saying like, build something, have fun doing it. My guess is you will eventually discover why you need a software developer. That's an assumption I'm making. Prove me wrong. So the way I want to do this, I think, we need to like maintain a map or an array of the balances and their request for their stats. Hey, there you go. Exactly. Right, so the way I'm thinking about this is const balances, and instead of just being an array, it ends up being an object in which we do something like you know, like balance ID. It's not going to be a great example here. I should probably be using an interface instead. Yeah, let's do that. Type balance ID is equal to string. And then here, interface balances stats. Let me get more music going. Yeah. Okay, so no. Balance ID string. I'd say this is the one that's farthest along. Loaded is a Boolean. Stats is the object. Nope. Did Rox finish his podcast app? I know they're doing like user testing and some of that. I know they're outside of my price range. Ugh. So wait, does he have it listed in his description, actually? Flightcast, that's the name of it. So yeah, it's still in like early access and like validation. So yeah, that's the product at least. I like the website. It is a good landing page. Yeah. Is that a GIF? It is a GIF. Come on, man. Make it a video. It's a 6 megabyte GIF. And yeah, those PNGs don't look very optimized. The video for it would probably be like 400K. Right? Video for it would have a better frame rate too. But I guess that is the thing, right? Auto playing does have issues on power saving mode, like someone mentioned earlier. So that's a good point. Well, I like how this is interactive. It's not just an image. Oh, that's clean. Yeah, I could agree with that. It's we'll fix it when it matters, and it just doesn't matter right now. Like they got to build the platform first. Oh, they're definitely using Magic UI though. right? It's like this kind of section, that BS. Right? One of these little dock things. The border beam, that's the feature he's using for sure. Border beam. Yeah, I'll probably, like, dude, yeah, they're using magic a lot on that page. Like, they're even doing, like, these ones. I don't like the retro grid. Like, I don't know if y'all can see how, like, the lines are popping. See, I don't like it because I don't know if you can see, like, the flicker just due to, like, subpixel mapping. I really don't like that flicker. And we deal with that even if we were to set the, oh, we don't have a screenshot of it. Yeah, if the lines didn't flicker, it would look really good. Technically, they just need to be a bit thicker. Oh man, I just got an itch on my foot. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, there we go. Whew. Oh, I like this magic card stuff too. Yeah, where it's like you got the hover. That part's nice. Oh, the confetti. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like so lazy, but still nice. Like I've seen a lot of sites use it. Nah, Magic UI is nice. I think it does get overused, but also people kind of tend to expect it. But okay, hold on. It's 4 o'clock on a Saturday. I'm not sure if we're gonna be gaming tonight. Like, has anyone heard from Algo Bro in like over a week? I'm a little worried about him. I think he got just really too amped up about hitting the numbers for partner. I tried to warn him that a long gap in not streaming is something they really look down upon. And now he's doing it again, so like, I don't know. Consistency is really important. No, he did not get partner, and I believe that's why we're not seeing him stream this past week. Because I think he really amped himself up for getting it, right? So the bigger the hype, the bigger the crash. I was trying to temper those expectations as much as I could. Barely anybody ever gets it first try anyway. But with a gap of a couple weeks, maybe even like a month or so, like how long was this big gap before? It was like 1 or 2 months even. Yeah, you're definitely not getting partner with just a couple months off and then a month of streaming again. It's not something they're going to do. So yeah, I don't know. Pretty sure that bummed him out. Like I almost imagine they're going to start revoking partner status at some point for people that just don't stream anymore. YouTube does that. Right? If your like viewership numbers dip enough on YouTube, they revoke partner. But yeah, real quick. Let's pour a beverage. I could do some Basil Hayden. Or I could do some Woodford Reserve. What do we think? The Woodford's just right here. I got to go to the kitchen to pour some more water anyway and use the restroom. I feel like it's been a bit since I did the Basil Hayden with water. Yeah, I think I just convinced myself. So let me go use the restroom. I'll be right back. I'm going to pour some water in the process, and I'm going to grab the Basil Hayden as I do it. Okay, I realized I actually picked up another one too. So now we gotta have a quick choice. Do we want to do Basil Hayden or Michter's, which is a small batch Kentucky straight bourbon? What distillery makes Michter's, actually? Michter's Distillery, so it's independent. Meanwhile, this one, Basil Hayden, I believe is Jim Beam. I'd say let's do the Michter's. Why not? I do wish I had lemonade mix or Coca-Cola, though. So I've had Michter's before. Hold on, you ready for the pop? Oh, that was a good one. Where's Alan at? We might have just summoned Alan with that cork pop. Yeah. All right, so hold on. Let's do just a quick taster. Pretend to be whiskey snobs. All right, swirl it a bit. Ooh, does it have legs? I don't know if legs are a whiskey thing. I think it's just a wine thing, right? Yeah, the Woodford bottle's deep. Right, we'll do the Woodford pop just, for science. Aw, that one sucked. That was kind of weak. Yeah, mainly just swirling it so we can like oxygenate it more, maybe. Right? Let it breathe a bit. It is a 45 percenter. Right? It's a 90 proof. Does smell like it's got a bit of that burn. It's got a bit of the burn. Like it's one of those ones that like evaporates on the tongue. Like it just absorbs in instead of like just sitting there. And I just realized music's a bit quiet today. I had it set a little lower than I should have. I was playing PoE 2 yesterday, and that game can get a bit loud. Um, Let me do this too. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry. So yeah, some an ambassador is thinking about applying to the company. And 1 second there, Coco. Sorry. Um, So, okay, 1 second. Let me just send this to one person here. And okay, let me get more music going. Oh, okay, I like this. It's a $3 album, so I'll probably have to buy it. I like the drum. It's like a steel drum or something. Or not a steel drum, but something like it. Oh, sounds good. But okay, so anyone know about decryption? If you do, the best way to decrypt an iPhone encrypted backup passcode. Nah, that sounds majorly unethical, Coco. Come on, man. Right. Number one, sounds like what you're doing is unethical, possibly criminal. And number two, law enforcement has a hard time doing it. What do you think you're going to be able to do otherwise? So yeah, it sounds like what you're doing is borderline criminal, and we're not going to have comments like that here. So I don't know. My guess is you already left, and you're just spamming every channel you can find rather than actually trying to be part of their community. Right? So here's a warning, man. Stay ethical. Oh, it's not the first time, Nas. That's why I am pushing back so hard. We get these types of like random chat spammers all the time. How can I hack some person's social media website? Of course it is. You should probably remember your passcode then. Kind of weird how that works, huh? See, here's the thing. Every time your phone reboots, it asks you, and they do it every 3 days. No, okay, so yeah, fuck off. Get out of here, troll. Fucking spammer. Most likely phone thief. Apple devices ask you basically every 3 days when you're going to unlock your phone, hey, you must provide your passcode. So if you've had your phone for less than 3 days, deal with it. Like, I don't know, man. If you can't remember a passcode after 3 days, that's also really questionable. I think it's 3 days. It might even be 48 hours. Apple prompts you for your actual passcode on a regular basis. It should be really hard to forget. My guess is they're stealing it, they're trying to hack into their significant other's phone. What they're doing just isn't ethical. On the off chance that they're being sincere and it's totally their own device, yeah, go to an Apple store. Why would you spam a random chat with that? Right? A community you've never chatted in before, you're not following, right? They're just going to move on to some other channel. Because that's the kind of like hacker script kiddie, probably unethical person they are. On the off chance, they could be somewhat safer if maybe they bought a phone off of a marketplace. But you know what? It was probably a stolen phone. So they're still supporting something majorly unethical. The most likely case, they're a phone thief or trying to do something they shouldn't. On the slightly edgier case, they bought a phone from someone unscrupulous. And then, like, the really smallest sliver of possibility is it's actually their device and they forgot the password. Has a time range as to how often it asks? I swear it's every 2 days. $6.5 days. Okay. Also, 5 unsuccessful attempts with the Face ID. You'll be asked for it as well. So yeah, it's basically once a week. I thought it was quicker than that, but yeah, once a week. It may depend on the version of iOS that you're using. That's entirely possible. But okay, so this is basically the structure that I want to go with here. So I'm going to loop over the balances no matter what. And then during that loop, look up the stats within here for the loaded value. And if we are loaded, stats will be there. So we basically just have what amounts to a cache for this stuff. And we do pretty much the same thing for quotas as well. Balances or quotas stats. And we're going to do a discriminated union for this because I think it'll help some of what we're trying to determine. So interface, loading, loading keyed stats. I like that name better. And actually, no. We can do this instead. Mm. So part of the issue is that we're loading stats for payments and transactions separately. Yeah, no, so this is actually going to be different. So now this is no longer balances or quota stats, it's balances stats. Well, I like this album. Yeah, like these are slightly like different than a lot of the other Arcus songs that we've heard. But yeah, what's up, Sheckler? How you doing? Are you the Ryan Sheckler? Are you getting into tech, man? Right? Technical skate tricks, technical coding time. Boom, nailed it. I'm pretty sure I made that joke years ago when you first followed, huh? Oh, and I have this backwards up here, don't I? Loading is true. Oop. That one is false. All right, so Superman nailed it on that auto completion, I'm pretty sure. This looks right to me. Oh, yep, I messed that one up. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think we do adjustment stats. So that part becomes easier. Which means... I think this might actually be different, right? So if we go to a quota and we look at it, right, we're just looking at account utilization. Time for dinner, but you'll tune back in later if I'm still going. Yeah, sounds good. See you soon. All right, yeah, some of these songs sound exactly like other songs by Arcus. But Seeking Blood, how you doing? Welcome. And yeah, Ray of Hope, appreciate that 3-stream streak. And I should check with the gaming crew real quick. And yeah, how's everyone's Saturday? What y'all up to? Let's go look at the quota details page. What does our data actually look like? Yes, we just do utilization, actually. A Patreon linking implementation. So what do you mean by that? Yeah, so looks like Acorn and Algo are out. We'll see what Robotic Head says. Looks like Algo has just been sick. I bet he had COVID. Because, yeah, who gets sick for a week straight if you don't have COVID? So, yeah, no, I'm glad he's feeling better. Yeah. I streamed through COVID. Deal with it. Built different. You want to say thank you for the stream. I'm very cool. And you are drunk at the moment. I get it. Yeah, so Wayne L., what are you drinking? I have some whiskey and water. I wish it was Coca-Cola. So wait, yeah, you hit 245. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. But you're playing some Helldivers and forgot to share. Nice. I haven't played Helldivers in a bit. How's how's like the new enemy? Is that stuff fun? Playing on difficulty 7, right? 3 below super Helldive, and you were managing quite well. Nice. The new enemy is the easiest. Oh, really? What makes them easier than the others? Not as many tank level enemies. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sure. So yeah, the bots are still like the hardest one, right? Sure. Let me get another album going. I don't know if we've actually played this one. This could be good. Check one thing over here real quick. And okay, so yeah, real quick. Winner not found. So instead of using Stripe, you could use Patreon for billing by just having users link their account. Will be helpful for your freelancing work since quite a few of your clients would break Stripe TOS. Okay. I wonder why you don't use just like a proper invoicing service. Oh, and hey, Alex. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Thanks for connecting. Oh, I see. So like your clients would be getting paid through Patreon. Got it. Okay. OnlyFans models? You don't have to say. I'm just joking. While being a joke, I might have just actually hit the nail on the head, didn't I? No, I get it. Yeah, yeah. And you didn't even have to say, but nailed it. I'm a fucking genius. All right, so now we need to start getting this data in there. We're not going to be doing the monthly. We're not going to be making it like we don't even really need that. We don't need the padding. And we don't need the width. We do still want to do it that way. So this would be utilization. But yeah. Mm. All right, so if we do that, oh, token is expired. All right, so we load the graph, but it's not the right data. But we do load it in. Which I like. All right, so let's continue. Oh, God. Yeah, so... what is the error, right? It's related to the fact that we're overriding the type safety. So that's on me. What did I do wrong here, man? I cannot read properties of undefined reading map. So it's the data we're passing in. So if we're loading, it's a loader. Oh. So if we are loading, we show the loader. If we are not loading... should knock out a couple of the low-hanging fruit real quick. Wrong place there. And over in sidebar, we should do that too. Just to fix some of the noise in what we're seeing. All right, so we reload, then we crash. Yep. So it's definitely the data in the balances section. Oh, and default props will be removed. Yes, we should fix the default props thing. SpaceX is trying to land on the moon. Makes sense. I think the end goal, right? Like he's been saying Mars. No, the end goal is actually to mine tritium. Right? Like H3. Just like the movie Moon. I mean, it's my guess, right? It's not official, but yeah, do you realize how much like energy value that has? We could have like free unlimited energy at that point. And I believe it makes for safer nuclear stuff than like uranium. The biggest problem with it is that it decays as it like is transported, right? What does it decay into? Helium-3. Yep. Okay, so tritium is not helium-3. It decays into helium-3. So yeah, basically by the time we would get it back from the moon, it would have like, I believe at least half of it would have turned into helium-3 at that point. And I'm not sure if we have a way of getting energy out of helium-3. I would guess Star Citizen is actually like operating on a similar idea. We do have an unban request that I should probably take a look at. Give me a second. And yeah, like being able to land on the moon is just another thing that they need to be able to do to farm like asteroids and stuff too, right? Like there are asteroids we've identified that are made entirely of gold, or not entirely, but majorly of gold. Do I even want to read this unban request? Pretty much anytime an unban request starts with, don't unban me, but. Actually, no, that was a decent unban request. No, I like that. That was actually a really respectful unban request. That was super cool, Coco, if you're still out there. I hope you have a good night, too. That is extremely rare. That's really cool of them. Diamonds? Dude, we can make diamonds here on Earth cheaper than we could get it from the moon or from an asteroid. We can't make gold. Now, technically, if we have unlimited energy, then we could start manipulating atoms at the atomic level, because that's a really energy-intensive thing. But yeah, lab-grown diamonds have been a thing for a long time. De Beers and a whole bunch of other companies, right? Like the diamond cartels, basically. They have a vested interest in us thinking that they're less than a real diamond, right? The suffering is what makes it valuable. So no, yeah, you can actually like get a lab-grown zero suffering diamond. And you probably should. Those industries need to die. I mean, the entire secret to Star Wars future is free unlimited energy. Right? Then we can start manipulating things at the atomic level. Right? Matter replicators, etc. Right? Star Trek future is actually predicated on unlimited energy. Free unlimited energy. Not Star Wars, Star Trek. Did I say Star Wars? I might have messed up. Yeah, Star Trek future, right? I probably said Star Wars. I would say warping, that is majorly science fiction. But the ability to even get off of this planet is predicated on unlimited energy. Right? For us to explore the stars and all that bullshit. What I mean by Star Trek future is simply like you don't need a job in Star Trek future. People get jobs for some kind of like fulfillment of life. But food and, you know, the means of just living, that should be able to be provided no problem, right? If we have unlimited energy, a lot of the things that we take as like something that's expensive and we need to pay for just becomes free. Would AI hold us back from advancing? I don't see why. Only way AI would hold us back is if it becomes like fully self-aware and takes us out like Terminator future. Or any of the other, you know, science fiction that we've read in which AI goes like AWOL. And this is all speculation, right? Like, I'm not some fucking rocket scientist. We can just recognize that science fiction does tend to predict the future. Not all of them are accurate and correct, but a lot of science fiction has predicted the future in at least one way, that by having these ideas, it lets people think about what's actually possible. So by writing it in science fiction, actual scientists have something to aim for. So it's a little bit of like one thing prompting the other. AI and aircraft. I mean, look at it this way, a ray of hope. If we ever want flying cars, it's going to have to be AI driven. There's no way you want all the terrible drivers out there in the world having control over a flying vehicle. No way in hell. That's like the worst idea I can think of. Modern autopilot could do it. Only if it has a lossless way of being directed by air traffic controllers. So the AI would actually be like the air traffic controller at that point. But you would need something tied into the autopilot system with that, right? Like zero latency, like routing. You might as well just say the cars are AI at that point too. Helicopters fly. I wouldn't say they're flying cars, because flying a helicopter is very different from flying anything else. And it's actually much harder than flying an airplane. Like, flying a helicopter is one of the hardest things you can learn. Getting a helicopter license is far more stringent than getting a plane license. Helicopters are just so ugly, the earth rejects them. Yeah. Helicopters are far more effort to learn than flying an airplane. I'd love to chat with Zummy more about this. We know someone from the Alt F4 stream, and friends with like a Tota in them. They're actually like a military pilot. They can fly everything, as far as I know. AVs? Wait, I haven't played Cyberpunk in a while. That's like the flying vehicles in that, right? Yeah. It's basically a Harrier, but you have like the four jets instead of just like the two, right? And then the one on the back. I think a big problem with that is like if we have that much stuff flying around manipulating like how air moves and all that stuff, air quality is going to go to shit. Like, dude, like stagnant air all around. Yeah, I think that part ends up getting like really crazy. But I don't know. I have no idea. Like, think about like the mini tornadoes that would be created from all of these like jet turbines. Right? Conflicting with each other based on like different flight patterns and all that. I don't know. Yeah, sounds gnarly. And yeah, Coco, again, I don't know if you heard me say it. You might have been lurking still, but that was a really nice unban request. It's really rare that we get something that like really cool. Many cases when someone's like, "Don't unban me," but oh man, they're about to do a thing that makes me want to like triple ban them if I could. But that was a really really cool unban request. That's like really rare, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Just now you were in an ad, or like while I was doing the unban? Yeah, no, I appreciate it. That was like a really nice message. It is incredibly rare for that to happen. So, big thumbs up from me, man. Or woman, sorry. That's an assumption I shouldn't make. Or whatever. And yeah, Alex, if you're still out there, hell yeah, dude, I'm stoked to connect with you. No, it's fine. I'm glad you looked it up. That's even cooler. You're really cool, Coco. I just want to say that right now. It is incredibly, incredibly rare for someone to come into chat with a question like that. So, yeah. Super cool of you. The new X1 Carbon is over 2K. What is the X1 Carbon? Is that like a quadcopter or something? I guess you said it's completely off topic, so I have no idea what it is now. Oh, it's a ThinkPad, so Lenovo, right? Um, I mean, I guess I'm curious. Right? Like this is probably the one you're talking about, and it's the Copilot Plus PC. Ugh. All right, so the super thin and lightweight. It's aiming to be like a MacBook Air competitor, maybe. Oh, it's got the Ultra 7 in it. You thought it was a helicopter airplane too. More than a 40 series GPU. I mean, yeah, but this is a whole computer, right? Like, dude, a single GPU should not be the cost of a whole computer. Like a consumer level GPU. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that's right. I think that's a problem. But yeah, now it's more than even a 50 series. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'd be curious about the value of it. I'm not sure about the graphics. Full disclosure, I do own some Intel stock, so I hope this thing sells like hotcakes. I'd say try it. Go for it there, T3. We do prefer English normally, but I mean, at least go ahead and show it. I will most likely go and translate it just to be sure. Oh, that character. Oh, that's a cool character. No, I like that one. And yeah, as long as it doesn't mean something offensive, we're good to go. Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, Google's saying it means the letter S, right? Like the word is she or something like that. So yeah, no, totally fine. I think that's a cool smile. I like that. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's continue on with what we're doing here. We added that key so that we can clean up some of the noise in our dev tools. So yeah, support for default props. Yeah, we should definitely fix that. That's a decent joke. I like that. Today's project. So, I mean, we've got Waltr as the description of the project, and we've got the today command as the description of what we're doing specifically today. I mean, I just did the command. You can just read. Software as a service. Yeah, I haven't had an ATI or AMD like CPU or GPU since like 2002. And I was a fanboy. Nowadays, there's definitely a reason to just go with Intel, in my opinion. But if you disagree, it doesn't bother me. In server stuff, I think the AMD Epics, those are a major, major thing. Like, yeah, Intel Xeons, yeah, they're losing on that. And that's really like where the big money is, right? Like server CPUs. So AMD is killing it in the server CPU space. I don't know. There are definitely people that have opinions. I don't know if my opinion matters as much. I haven't built a PC in at least 6 years. Yes, power efficiency, AMD kills it. Yeah. But ARM is even better, right? So AMD still has to compete with ARM processors for power efficiency. Which is why Apple is using ARM processors. No, what I'm saying, a ray of hope, is I build my PCs, but I haven't built a PC since 2018. Like I'm still, my gaming PC has a 1080 in it. I just replaced the CPU like 2 days ago. It had an i5 8400, and I replaced it with an i9 9900 because it's the fastest I can get for the architecture in the motherboard. Yeah, the 1080 is such like a long lasting device. Like I'm still getting bottlenecked in Path of Exile 2 when I'm with a group, right? Just because that is a lot of like stuff on screen to render. If I'm in a group of 5, yeah, no, I slow to a crawl. But if I'm just playing solo, even with my sorceress, I'm getting 60 plus frames a second now. To me, that sounds like a memory issue. That sounds like bad sectors in RAM. I mean, I assume you have 2 like dims, right? The trick you can do is operate with 1 dim, see if you get the same issue, and then swap the dim and see if you reproduce the issue. Oh, you have 4? So it's more effort to do it, but you can do basically the same thing, right? You can go process of elimination. If you operate with 1 and you don't get the issue, well, that one's good. Swap it for another. If you don't get the issue, that one's good. I've identified bad RAM before because of like installing Windows. It would fail out towards like the tail end of the Windows install. I swapped my RAM, like just like flipped them. One was in slot 1, one was in slot 2. I actually flipped that, and it failed out earlier in the process. Then I did it with just 1 at a time, and it would fail out or not fail out. I've had middling results with like the RAM test kind of stuff. RAM test told me all that stuff was fine. But installing Windows, right, used up all the RAM and helped me understand what the actual issue was. I would just simply say find the thing that's failing for you and try it one way or the other. For me, I was getting like visual artifacting. So, you know, it was easy to think like, oh, it's a GPU issue because like the rendering is messed up. No, it was RAM. It was just Windows getting into a bad sector about like what should be drawn where on the screen. And then, yeah, like all sorts of weird craziness. We had that issue here on stream 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. But okay, so let's figure out which one of these is failing after we get more music going, because that album just ended. Oh, I forgot how much I like this album. Or at least this song. Yeah, ECC, like a bit flip from a random like Sunray or whatever. Those are so rare. But ECC is worth it. Right, because with an iMac, you can't change anything. Yeah, I mean, with any Mac, right? With every single Mac you own, The RAM is actually soldered into the motherboard, right? These days. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Yeah. My CEO actually responded to something. All right, so there we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, we had a. Oh shit. I posted this to the wrong place. All right, there we go. 10 seconds later, I'm fired. No, I think like I had a really good performance review, right? Like the yearly performance review thing. I had a really good one with my immediate boss, and I don't know, like I'm pretty sure the CEO's stoked. He's really cool, dude. He's yeah, on a regular basis, like liking tweets and posts and stuff like that. Anyway, oh, dude, yeah, I think Sahil, the Gumroad guy, is a bit of a huckster. I don't think Gumroad is a complicated enough application for anyone to judge, right? And a lot of like the Gumroad customers are hucksters too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little sad that we haven't seen Purple Elf streaming in a while. I used to enjoy just lurking their stream from time to time. They used to raid here all the time too, and they used to be a contractor for Gumroad. So I'm hoping they weren't drummed out. I don't know. I'm not sure, Mr. Elfman. I have no idea. We don't need to speculate. I have no clue. I would say that she was probably like senior enough that she would be safe, but I just don't know. Yeah, she's a fantastic programmer. Absolutely. We just haven't seen him streaming for a while, but that is kind of just how streaming works. Like, people fall off. There was a thing, right? Hold on, I have the link over here in Discord. Okay, so it looks like I'll be gaming with Robotic Head here soonish. I don't think there's a huge rush. But let me grab this tweet. Yeah. Copy link. Hey, yeah, no worries, Robotic Head. How you doing? Yeah, life and stuff, like all sorts of things. I think a big part of it is like burnout. Like, a lot of people think they'll go bigger than they do. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely hurts a little bit myself when I look and see we're at 38 viewers when, we've easily been at 100 organically before. That's as much my fault as well as just circumstances and, people wanting to enjoy a Saturday night maybe or something. So I get that. But, I'd be lying if I said it doesn't affect me. So yeah, this is, I think, the biggest thing that streamers have going against them. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, that's cool. Awesome, Winner. Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, I mean, I'm still stoked. I've got some really dedicated viewers. We've got one person who's at like 320, 330, or like close to 330 at this point with their watch streak. We've got Space Case, who's probably still lurking and playing some Helldivers, who's at 245 today. There are people that would kill to have 38 average viewers. So it's really easy to get jaded and be like, man, I wish my numbers were higher. But there are gaming streamers that would kill for 38 viewers, right? No, I appreciate all y'all. Like, keep that in mind. But yeah, just looking at it, right? It's interesting to me that drop off since 2022 is actually higher, like way higher. So from 2017 to 2021, yeah, that's like, like, we got to consider like COVID versus post COVID. I think a lot more people streamed during at least the start of COVID. 2022 plus, as restrictions and other things lifted, people just decided to do other things. I get it. I think it makes sense. But it's kind of crazy that, yeah, by a year into streaming, 68% of viewers, or not viewers, sorry, 68% of streamers will just stop streaming. And I don't think that is actually like I don't think it's actually a difference between regular streamers, affiliates, and partners. Like, we see partners fall off all the time. Anyone remember Mewtwo? Anyone remember Vape Juice Jordan? Yeah, partners fall off all the time. right? Like life circumstances, not getting out of it what they wanted, maybe cultivating an audience that they don't like enjoying with, like they don't actually enjoy interacting with. There's a lot of factors to it, in my opinion. Well, Strager got banned at one point for doxing someone. That's a different kind of burnout, right? That's becoming like disillusioned with the platform. And also, I think he cultivated a chat he didn't like either. He was banned for like a month, but man, you go without streaming for a month, you don't actually miss it that much. So that kind of like forced ban, that can be a problem. But also, I think he cultivated a chat he didn't like. I could be wrong. Like, honestly, he has a startup that he needs to focus on, things like that. But I also just think, yeah, there's a big part of like, you have to have a chat you want to talk to. That's huge. And I get that, Mr. Elfman, but I consider that a major part of his burnout. Like making your content, code review or resume review, is that something you actually enjoy doing it? Like, or is it just something you're doing for the sake of like viewership? In a lot of cases, if anything you do for viewership is something that you can burn out from. Yeah, that makes sense, Mr. Elfman. Like, yeah. I mean, full disclosure, I banned him here in this chat because he can be a bit of a jerk sometimes. Also, full disclosure, so can I. Two people like that will butt heads eventually. So I understand. He's unbanned, like, you know, he's welcome in chat. He has really good feedback sometimes, but he can definitely be harsh. I've been banned in one other streamer's chat. And I think it was rightfully so. But they stopped streaming too because they weren't getting out of it what they wanted as well. And they are banned here now because they were bringing some bullshit into my chat. They were doing a lot of like anti-PHP, like memeing and shit talking. I don't give a fuck. Use whatever language you want. Just be productive. But yeah, like these numbers are really like sobering. Can we just recognize Prime has literally told me, just hanging out at TwitchCon, if he was still at 40 viewers, he would have quit ages ago. I consider that a bit tough. If he doesn't continue to grow, is he going to burn out anyway? Right? Because no matter what, it's never enough. Comparison is the thief of joy, but you know for a fact he compares himself with other streamers outside of this category because he's king of the hill. But you know for a fact he compares himself with other streamers. Hey, what's up, Melky? Yeah. And this is not me trying to talk shit. I really hope that's not how it's coming across. I do think, yeah, my phrasing could be worked on to like make sure I'm being like magnanimous about it. No, because I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just trying to at least like add perspective to it. That's all. No, I'm not saying you were. I just want to make sure. Like, even if you hadn't said hi, I would still be thinking about it. Like, shit, am I talking shit? I think we both know why I would immediately start thinking like, oh shit, am I talking shit? And as we both said, water under the bridge, but I still think about it. So, whatever. No, I still believe that. I still think thirst trap style photos are a bit of insecurity. I'm sorry, like, I still agree with that. I think my phrasing was wrong. I still fundamentally just agree that thirst trap photos come from insecurity. But the way I said it was wrong. I hope this isn't bringing up more beef again, but I still fundamentally believe that. Are you not secure in just having that effort and knowing what you've done? Why do you have to show it? And I do think there is definitely like a superficial nature to it. Again, I'm not trying to make this about you. I did in the way I said it before, but I still just think in general that's a bit of a thirst trap. The snowboarding videos were nostalgia, if anything. But I just still think, like, I don't know, man. Do you consider me posting my sponsor me video from 2006 to be flexing? I don't know. That's just what I'm asking. I don't know, man. To me, it feels superficial. Right? Again, snowboarding and skateboarding are a skill. Do you consider weightlifting a skill? I don't think so. It shows discipline. That's very different. I disagree. That's all. I'm sorry. Like, honestly, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. I would say, yeah, being able to put up an insane amount of weight is a skill. But showing off your muscles, that's not a skill. In my opinion. Because look at the strongest people in the world. Right? They're not bodybuilders, they're weightlifters. There's a big difference between weightlifting and bodybuilding. I consider bodybuilding extremely superficial. It may be hard work, but the entire reason for it comes from a superficial nature. In my opinion, I'm chubby as fuck. So yeah. Is that jealousy maybe? Probably. A little bit. But I've been kind of like anti-superficial for a long time. The most superficial I get is I wear a beanie to cover my balding head. Mainly because I'm getting colder as I lose my hair. But also, there's no way in hell I would ever get hair plugs. That is way too fucking superficial for me. Right? See where that line is? The effort I would put into something superficial like that is where I start to like draw lines. I understand. Effort is cool, man. I actually gauge things based upon the effort towards the goal that you have. And if that goal is superficial, then I don't know. Why do I stream? Because I enjoy it. If I was in it for superficial reasons, I would be bummed on not having over 100 viewers at this point. Right? Now, it still does affect me, like I was saying earlier. Because no one's above being like, no one is completely non-superficial. It's a spectrum. I'm stoked for you, man. You're fit. It's really cool. I just don't think thirst trap photos are part of a culture I enjoy. And that's me being counterculture in general. I think fitness gurus and fitness culture is bullshit. Be fit. Go for it. But dude, right? Like fitness influencers fucking suck. They're the worst. Oh my God, they're the worst. That's the counterculture in me. I've been anti that vapid pop culture nonsense as long as I can remember. By all means, be fit, be proud of it. But I don't know, man. Making it a personality does tend to go over the line, in my opinion. I hope this isn't upsetting you, man. And I hope we're still good. I'm specifically talking to Melky. Yes, I want to be more fit. If I shed some pounds, are you going to see an ab picture of me anywhere ever? No. It's just, I'm sorry, like, I fundamentally disagree with that. Which I would never do, because I would never take steroids for superficial reasons. There are absolute medical reasons to take steroids. I agree with that. I fundamentally hate fitness influencers. I believe what they do comes from a level of grifting and superficiality. So yeah, I don't know. We've gone way off topic. That's my bad. It does tend to happen. But I think at least at this case, I've tried to be diplomatic. I'm a jerk more often than I should be. I don't think this was one of those cases. But, you know, people can disagree. Yeah, the music ending right there. That was interesting timing for sure. Same thing could be said about any influencer creed. I mean, there's definitely something superficial to just being a streamer, right? Like, I get that. Like I said, it's a spectrum. Where we draw those lines is personal to all of us. Right? There's no such thing as someone who is without ego. That's impossible. right? From like purely a philosophy and psychological perspective. It is impossible to be without ego. As far as it's defined in, what is it, Jungian, or is that Freud, right? The id, the ego, and the, I guess there's the third one that I forget. Anyone remember what the third one is? Id, uh, id, ego, superego. And yeah, it's not like Freud's 100% right, but I do think breaking these things down helps us understand the points that we make when we talk about it. Right? The superego is the judgmental part of the mind that incorporates society's values and morals. Can we recognize that I let my superego drive me more than it probably should? And also my like judgment of society's superego. I am very superego driven. How I consider ethics and morals within society drive me more than my own personal ego in many cases. I can understand that for sure, Het Knight. I agree with that, right? Getting fit is awesome. Like, I'm really proud for people that have the discipline. I lack that discipline. I admit that in myself. I have discipline for other things, but when it comes to my discipline to stay fit, and that comes down to a bit of like, I do somewhat resent myself for the superficial nature of wanting to look good naked, which I think a lot of people pursue fitness for, which is okay. But the moment you start like advertising it, the more you make it part of your image, the more superficial it gets. That's the point I'm trying to make. I hope we're good, Melky. I would guess by your silence that we're not. Okay, and that's cool, man. We can just respectfully disagree. I'm not trying to like, I'm not trying to make it a problem. I appreciate the fact that you've actually put up with listening to me say this stuff. I think that's important, right? Respectfully disagreeing. There are plenty of people that have politics I really don't agree with that I can still hang out with and we can be chill. Exactly. And I would consider this like borderline political, right? One of those things that we may never fully agree, and that can be okay. So yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you. Like, cheers to that. The way I phrased it before was definitely more personal and over the line than what I was trying to say today. And I think maybe when I said it before, it was related to that, but I was specifically referencing something you did. And that was over the line. So anyway, we can move on. We don't need to dwell on this. Just know I'm still sorry, and I still think about what I did and said before. Right? Don't think that I say these things and never think about it again. I completely intend to be conscientious in everything I do, which means that think about all the ways I mess up all the time. For sure, naughty knitter. No, I get that, right? Like fitness to me, and like I really do want to drop this, but I at least want to acknowledge what you're saying. Fitness to me is an internal thing. Right? It may be externally visible, but what you get from it should be internally driven. There shouldn't be a need for external validation. So if we bring it back to skateboarding and snowboarding, there's definitely a level to external validation of sharing that stuff. I get it. But man, getting good at snowboarding, that was something I needed to do for me. And I assume it's the same for Melky, right? He wants to be fit for his own personal reasons. It can be a little tricky there, Ray of Hope. When someone says, oh, you look like you've lost weight, and you haven't, that feels really weird. I had someone do that when I went to Atlanta for a conference recently. They're like, oh man, have you lost weight? No, I've gained weight. It's the mustache. I'm like, I don't know what it was. Like, I have no idea. It was a nice thing for them to say, but again, like, it's kind of superficial. So I don't know. What am I building? So, Black Spider. The main project is a Waltr. We've been on a rant for the past half hour or so. We've gotten some major work done today, which I'm really proud of. We could finish it up, which I think we want to do. We got to actually evaluate where one of our assumptions is failing, and it's most likely due to how we're doing that part. But what I think the issue is how we're fetching this data, not the fact that it could potentially be undefined. So I need to work on that part. Let's go find it. Has it literally been 42 minutes for the rant? Okay. I should have said a half hour or so. There we go. But what games do I play? I tend to prefer single-player RPGs. So, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, which you can actually have a group with nowadays. Back when it was released, you couldn't. Kingdom Come Deliverance, I still need to finish so I can earnestly play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I also play League. I'm a Singed main. What else do I play? I've played Madden from time to time, but I think I'm burning out on that. PoE, Path of Exile, is pretty good. The other PoE is also really good, Pillars of Eternity. I wish that one was multiplayer. That'd be really good. Right? PoE and PoE 2, like Pillars of Eternity style, would be really cool if like me and Robotic Ed could play that together. Right? Because like he, Atoda, and like a few other people, we all played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 together. And that was really fun. It is really good. 4-wheel. Yeah, they changed up the controls. I play with a controller on that game. They changed up the controls a bit, so it takes some getting used to, which is why I just want to finish the first one. Ooh, hold on. I do want to remove that. Anyone that may have seen the command that Coco ran there, do not run that in your terminal. And you're not banned for it, but just, I don't know, man. We do get enough people that are not necessarily full-on programmers. We don't want them copying and pasting something randomly that they see. Hold on. Boss had a question. Let me find. What is it? It's 12. Features. Here we go. Ah, shit. Hold on. Wait. No. You're good. It would have only happened in the folder they were in because you did scope it to the current folder rather than the root, which I appreciate for you. I mean, my boss replied a minute ago. So my boss is working on a Saturday too. And technically it's my boss's boss. I think at the end of the day, this is why I don't feel bad streaming as much as I stream during the week. Because I work fuzzy hours. Right? Would you like me to delete a message there, Coco? Like, I think you're good. I deleted that message. You're fine. Being able to delete your own would be cool. I like that idea. We might still have a Twitch employee in chat. Might be something to like pass on as like some user feedback. There might be like I would say Twitch has a user voice channel. I'd say try and search for the thing before you post a new one. But they absolutely have a user voice channel in which, twitch.uservoice.com. Search for it, see if there is feedback based on that, and if not, create an issue. It's a thing, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can totally provide info on their user voice, and that'd be worthwhile. Yeah, mods will often like delete something if you ask them to, which is a nice feature. But okay, real quick, let me go use the restroom. I'll be right back. And yeah, speaking of thirst trap photos, here we go. That's me being superficial real quick. Look at that body. Oh my god. Thirst trap. All right, and I'm back. Coco, yes, Melky is absolutely Steph. You can't fake that icon. Anyway, yeah. Sorry for that thirst trap photo. I know. It was a bit superficial of me. I'm trying to, I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm trying to actually like self-deprecate a bit to lighten it. But yeah, I get it. I totally understand, man. Very few people can maintain that Ooga Chaka baby body. I'm working on it. Ooga Chaka baby body. Oh, all right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to learn how to say that really fast. Yeah. I mean, it's from Ally McBeal. It's like 30 years old at this point. No, it's like 20, 25 maybe. But yeah, they had a thing where like Ooga Chaka, and it like some 3D bullshit baby would show on screen. People wish they could maintain that physique. All right. So anyway. I know. Oh, the truffle shuffle. There you go. Yeah, chunk. You can't make a movie reference and not and expect me not to get it. It's really rare. But yeah, man, I haven't actually looked up the Freud stuff in a long time. I really am driven primarily by superego rather than ego in most cases. Yeah. And wait, what was id? Because Alan comes in here all the time. The id of Alan. I actually forget now. Id, ego, superego. What is id? It is the oldest part of the mind representing biological instincts. It's driven by pleasure and avoiding pain. It is concerned with immediate gratification like eating, sex, and comfort. Right? It's like our animal nature. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the id is our animal nature. Right? Without the id, why would we care about living? Right? Like, why would we even continue to live if you weren't driven by id in some way? Right? There's other Marvels. There's Miss Marvel. There's a bunch of them. Marvel? I don't even know what that is. Talking about the Statue of David? You're talking about a cat's eye? The cat's eye marble? Right? We all marvel at the cat's eye marble. Anyway, let's actually debug what's going wrong with this real quick. So it's not with balances. It is purely related to quotas. Oh, yeah. We get back to code. I enjoy coding. Real quick, when I do think about why do I stream? Why do I stream coding? Sure, there's something superficial about it. I think there's also just simply I have products I want to make, and streaming making those products is the easiest way to find potential customers. No, no. I just think it's important, right? Building in public is the easiest way to find people to test your product. There are people that struggle to find someone to test their product. When I have something worth testing, I can just post the link and y'all are just right there. Boom. Now, so Array of Hope, just keep in mind, we're not talking about just like product growth. We're talking about like, can we get someone to test it? Do you remember when I was testing the food app? I'd say it's faster than word of mouth because getting that initial first word of mouth is tough. But yeah, you remember the food app, right? I had that public link. 30 people in chat hopped into the app instantly. To get 30 testers immediately? Dude, startup people dream of that. And it's easy, right? You just stream building it. Boom, problem solved. We had Benawad testing it with us. Right? We saw in the list right there in Expo, Benawad's phone. Right? He and I fundamentally disagree on opinions about tech. He's also, right, when we talked about streamers that burn out because they don't like their audience, he's a dude that memes about tech that probably doesn't actually mean it most of the time. He thinks it's funny. But he built an audience that was an audience of haters. I think he stopped streaming because he didn't enjoy interacting with an audience of haters. Right? That's my opinion. I could be wrong. He could correct me on it. He knows the reason why he stopped streaming. I also think he wasn't getting out of it what he thought he would. There's a big part of that. I think that's why, oh God, the guy that hacked the PS3, I think it's a big part of why he stopped streaming. He cultivated an audience he didn't like interacting with. GeoHot, yeah, he used to stream here on Twitch. Absolutely, 100%. Is he actually streaming right now? Shit, dude, I feel like it's been ages since he streamed. I feel like it's been a long fucking time. He's not streaming in software and game dev. What category is he streaming in right now? Is he in like just chatting or something? I don't follow him because I didn't enjoy his channel. Oh, he's in science and tech still? Oh, interesting. Interesting. I wonder, like, because he hasn't streamed in so long, whether he realizes that's, like, not really the place for programming anymore. Or if he's doing it intentionally to get away from, like, the programming audience he used to have. Right? To get away from, like, the random drive-by, like, what framework are you using? Yeah, maybe that's why I haven't seen him stream for ages, because I look at, like, the software and game dev category, but if he's not streaming there, I'll never see him. Because I don't look at science and tech. It's just, it's not what I care to do. And can we also just... Can we just recognize there is a streamer, I probably shouldn't say their name because that would be a little too toxic, who was over in that category for a long time. And when the new category was spun off, they were like, oh, good. Let those web devs have their own category. And then like a month later, he was over here in this category. Right? Like he was actually like majorly negative of web devs. You probably know who it is. You know who it is. You definitely know who it is. No, they're not a game dev. Their primary language is Go. If I say more, I'm bringing too much hate towards it. I'm not a fan. Like, they have posted majorly negative stuff about web devs and people in this category. Not J-Blow, but I also don't enjoy J-Blow's stream either. There you go, a ray of hope, but we didn't need to necessarily shout it out. And you're slightly off on the prefix, but I think most people know. Oh, J-Blow hates web devs. Absolutely. Yeah. No. He is majorly judgmental that way as well. Pamber Carrot knows. You all know, right? I didn't actually want to name the person, but they are banned in this chat due to like blog posts they made that threw the entire category under the bus. If they would simply issue like an apology blog post and apologize like an adult, then yeah, we'd welcome them back. No big deal. But we know that'll never happen, right? Oh, they absolutely do. Yeah, for sure. But I just think it really does exemplify, like, they are willing to write off the entire fucking category in web devs, right? Like, I'm going to stick here in science and tech, and the moment his numbers dip, he's over here. Right? So he doesn't even stick to his convictions. Like, how can you even trust someone like that? Like, it feels extremely, like, fake, superficial. And I know I've thrown that word around a lot, but I don't mean it purely from an aesthetic standpoint or a visual standpoint. I mean it from, like, a surface level meh standpoint. Shallow is probably the best way to phrase it. And they strike me as very shallow. Same could be said about me. In certain lights, I get it. I'm not trying to say I'm some kind of saint. That was never the point I was making. Am I a bit of a hater? Did you not hear me say counterculture? Hating is what we do. Hating is what we do. I listened to Rage Against the Machine before people misunderstood Rage Against the Machine. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Yeah, like counterculture. Very deeply embedded in my DNA. Oh, I'm not sure, Ray of Hope. I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea, Ray of Hope. I would probably say whatever I said then. Yes, that was killing in the name of. Fuck yeah. Damn right. All right, Tom Morello's guitar says, "This machine kills fascists." I believe that's a direct reference to Woody Guthrie. Or Arlo Guthrie, I forget which one. Because Arlo or Woody, whichever one, also had the same thing on his guitar. This machine kills fascists. We need a modern day fucking Arlo or Woody Guthrie at this point. Where are they at, man? We need a modern day Rage Against the Machine. We need something. Like, dude, music has gotten so like pop culture bullshitty. It fucking sucks. I don't give a fuck about Ariana Grande. I think she needs to eat a sandwich. Personally. Linux kills fascists? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But I do need to stop myself before I say something I probably don't want to. So let's get back to code. All right, so when we're looking at these quotas and how we fetch the stats, right? We set this, we then fetch this, we call that good. The stats dot utilization should be a thing. And yeah, when I call someone else out for being a hater, I mean, come on, man. I am too, right? So, come on. Right? Sitting here throwing stones in a glass house. What a jerk. All right, so we still fail out there. So it's not balances. Yeah, no, it was never balances that were the issue. It's definitely the quotas. So if we comment out the quotas, right? Oh, hold on. Wait. That's going to fail. We just do like a thing. Oh, wait. Really? So it's not even the quota thing. Oh. I wish we were getting a better error. right? Like, where all are we doing a dot map? And yeah, Robotic Ed, seriously, I do want to play games, so keep that in mind. But I do want to leave on like a good point with this. I got my oven heating up. I can throw the pot pies in, and the pot pies will be like 50 minutes. What game do you want to play, though? You're researching OAuth 2. Right, because you're getting OAuth going with Near Beach. Do you have any questions? I feel like I have a really, really, really good handle. Right, Divinity Original Sin, number 1. Team preheat? Absolutely team preheat. Fuck yeah. Yeah, my oven is preheating with nothing in it right now. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah. If you have questions, like, honestly, like, we can chat about it during our gaming. Like, absolutely, man. I feel like I've gotten pretty damn good at OAuth. Like, when we did NPM, right? Right? Like, we implemented this Microsoft identity thing, which totally fails now. Don't use it. Because the auth service provider that we were consuming, because I thought that was actually like a genius way of doing this, they're no longer actually active. Which is part of the problem you will deal with in decentralized identity. If your identity provider goes offline, well, yeah, now you can't auth. Which might be a feature, depending on how you look at it. But right, when we built this, we did it as part of a sponsored stream, and showcasing decentralized identity was important. The 425 show, and I'm forgetting their name, like the person that was behind it, they were doing their own provider, and we just wanted to consume theirs. Like, we could have just built our own and called it good. But I think there was more value in consuming their provider, because that's actually the power of decentralized identity. I'm a little bit bummed that TBD, a thing from Block, seems to have failed at this point. Because they were tackling the exact same problem. I just do think, like, the world of decentralized identity, it has a lot of hurdles for adoption. At the end of the day, like, why wouldn't I just use some centralized provider like GitHub or Twitch for OAuth? Because that's actually kind of decentralized when you think about it. Your organization doesn't have to care about where that identity is coming from, other than it's a provider that we trust. So OAuth 2 is actually a bit of a decentralized identity system, when you really think about it. But yeah, when we ended up, doing the session-based thing, and we're like, well, fuck it, we should at least make sure other people can log in with other things. We created the OAuth for GitHub and Twitch. Like, dude, it took us maybe a couple hours to get the first OAuth provider going, and then the second OAuth provider was like a half hour. Because the patterns are so easy and simple. Right? You got endpoints to make, you got some other stuff, but then once you've got the boilerplate of your like redirect logic, where we go log in, like, the redirect endpoint with the provider in the URL and everything, then you just use like the provider in the URL to determine how you do your auth, and bam, like, you're logged in. Problem solved. So yeah, I would say OAuth 2 can be tricky. I'm not saying you should feel bad for not knowing it immediately if you've never done it before. But once you've done it a couple times, dude, it gets so easy because the pattern is the same. It's like really fucking simple. So once you have that pattern established for one provider, you can add another provider like that. The effort is actually not your code, but actually setting stuff up within their system, like adding an app for Twitch and then doing the code bullshit, like, the auth codes and whatever, right? Like the API keys or whatever they call them. I forget the exact name. Once you get the pattern for OAuth, man, it actually becomes really fucking easy. And I just have to point out, like, I've been doing this shit for ages. One of the first actual projects I worked on at a company that I was getting paid a salary for, I was the front end guy. But we were outsourcing a bunch of our back-end dev, and our back-end dev was not capable of doing our OAuth, so I just jumped in and fixed it. Because I needed that shit to work for the front end I was building. I couldn't let myself be bottlenecked by them any longer. So I got in there and I fixed their really bad OAuth 2 code in a Laravel project, actually, in 2015? All this to say, like, it's about practice and recognizing the patterns and then making those patterns happen regardless of language. It's the same code every time. Yeah, 10 years ago, I was already implementing OAuth. It's not actually that hard after you've figured it out. So don't feel bad if it's taking you a bit. Honestly, I'm not trying to say that. Once you get it, dude, you'll be able to do it anywhere. And it'll be so quick and easy, like, because you know the pattern. Language doesn't even matter at that point. Has that majorly helped shape my opinion about why languages don't matter? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because patterns are more important. All right, so if we identified that quotas here is not the actual issue, hold on, and yeah, we got to do like the BS. So it's actually the fetching of payments that is getting us. We can verify that. Ooh. So, no. See, I thought balances we had fixed. I thought we actually totally had the balances fixed. Like, what the fuck, dude? Huh. All right, so number one, the data that we're trying to load into the graphs for quotas seems wrong because what the fuck, dude? But It's how we're mapping over the data from balances. That's the account one. All right, that right there. All right, so we see that stats dot today versus stats dot month. That's it, right? It's not daily. It's today and month. And yeah, this is a problem with like a lack of type safety because I wasn't necessarily certain about how we wanted to do this. So the type safety issue is absolutely my fault. That's actually really annoying. We do need to establish what our stats endpoints actually mean. Right? Like the responses for them and all that stuff. Something we should definitely be defining. All right. Like a glove, except that, no, not quite. We're able to get the page to render, which is nice. I would say we could fix the data transfer. We're not going to have any values. How interesting. Interesting. So our graph, when doing balances, is also a little bit off. Thank you for the follow, Owen. We can chat about it. I don't think here is the place. And I believe you may have to do an unban request, but I would appreciate that. The follow does show some good faith, so I appreciate that too. All right, so we're at basically 7 p.m. And we can dig into why this data is empty in the way that we see it. That's a problem. That's something to do with how we're mapping over the data, because I'm pretty sure if we go look at it, right, for the quotas, it's actually utilization that we care about. So we can at least replace the word day. Okay, so yeah. You're right. I probably did remove it before then. All right, touche. I get it, Owen. I appreciate that. Thank you for the sorry. I probably did remove it a while ago. Most likely because I feel a little bad about it. But also, come on. I also could have as well. Hence the preemptive unban. But also, I do still think I had at least a point. I'd have to look back at it. The fact that I already unbanned you means I probably regretted it. So, on me. That's my fault. It's like this dude drinks whiskey or something. I don't get it. But yeah, so hold on. This is where we're actually running into the same thing, right? We see date amount. Label accounts. Hold on, wait. Shit. All right, so that wasn't it. There's something I'm missing. This is actually a pretty quick fix. We just need to look at the usage details page. Quota details. That's it. Sorry. And what do I have in the graph? All right, so data key. All right, I think I actually just want to grab that entire bar chart. So, shit, hold on. Okay. I don't like how this graphing library leaves out labels just based on spacing. I'd rather they be crowded. But we have the data in there. Balances here. think we got a little bit of like work to do. But this is not bad. I would say we're kind of close. How do we feel about the page so far? Any feedback y'all have? What do you think? I know we got a gap here, right? And a gap here. We should fix that. The emptiness of this is tough as well. Right? No new accounts within February. Well, that's actually just the data. How should we handle no data? Should we just say like no data? We can do it. I think there's some way that we could like alter the rendering of this to make sure that each like section renders. Like, maybe we show like the vertical lines or something. I don't know. That's something we can like debate. But we at least have the data on the page, which I think is valuable. However, we probably want to condense the data because this is just the overview page, right? We're not trying to get super deep with the data, right? We can condense the hell out of this shit. Like really, maybe our quotas, we make each quota shorter and then only 50%. So then like as quotas go, like we just tile them left to right. Maybe we disregard some of this. Like, I don't know. The graphing library we're dealing with doesn't give me the customization that I would like. But we at least have the data here. And the page renders. And we got more that we can do. Would we say this is good enough for MVP? I might be willing to say this is good enough for MVP. While we try and hack out some other stuff. Like the sandbox versus production thing. My God, that's so much more important than the presentation of this stuff. I think this dashboard matters, but it doesn't matter for MVP. I should at least style these titles better, right? We can do that, sure. Right? Because they're not in line with the ones below it, right? That's like the P4 kicked in. When really we could just use gap or something. But that's not bad. So yeah, I'm hesitating to like get more music going because I think we're just gonna raid someone else. We got this page done, and if we look at what we're doing, done. I really think that's our next step, right? For the short term. Let's at least like sort these up. Yeah, so the next big tasks. And we can kind of like work together. We can like take a vote on it of which one of these two things we want to do first, right? Do we want to make sure that permissions tie into the UI in a way that matters? I actually think I want to do the sandbox thing first, right? And the sandbox thing is easily a week of work. The majority of Monday is actually going to be spent on thinking about this problem. Because, you know, I don't stream Sundays. I got work to do. I got gaming to play too. Like, you know, I got to have like a day off from stream every once in a while. I can't do 7 days a week. I don't want to burn out. I think this is the initial plan, right? In this order specifically. And then beyond that, we got other stuff to do. Oh my God, we got other stuff to do. Like so much other stuff to do. And really, like, pre-MVP is also publish. Consider how to mitigate DDoS and spam. Right? Because we got enough haters. Oh my God, they are chomping at the bit to spam and DDoS this thing, right? So we got to figure that out. Yeah, I think we got a good plan of action. Who do we go raid? Who's even streaming right now? We see Snowcone. We raided Loot Cone. Sorry. I read Leak Code and it became Loot Cone in my head for some reason. No, we raided Snowcone yesterday. We got to mix it up. There is Janet Akar. There is Not Nang. What's up, Zerk? How you doing? We raid Midnight Simon all the time. Psychore's killing it. I don't see... I don't see anyone else I would rather raid. We raid Nikwan Datasci far more often than other people. He always does some really cool data stuff. But we do raid him on a regular basis, right? We haven't raided Not Nang or Janet Akar. Wait, are they wrapping up? Oh, they're offline now. So Janet Akar is done, so we're not going to raid there. So that's a problem solved. I'm thinking Not Nang. Andu Dev? I don't know them specifically. Ugh. Oh my God, man. Yeah, Nang's been getting trolled too. Yeah, Pair AI is great. It's a fork of Cursor, basically. No, we're not gonna raid Griffing and chill. If you want to hang out while I'm gaming, please, like, come hang out. Like, make the gaming stream better. Me and Roboticat are gonna figure out the game to play. It's probably gonna be Divinity Original Sin. And, you know, RPG stuff. We're hanging out. No. Take it easy there, Array of Hope. yes, they did do a fork of Cursor, but I think what they're doing is different enough, and there's enough space that we should support it. My God, his font is so damn small. Like, you're not going to be able to read any code on his stream. Like, holy shit. But we can go raid Not Nang. I think that sounds good to me. We haven't been able to raid them in a bit. I believe he is now funded by Y Combinator, which is cool. I think he's also a solo founder at this point, which I think is extra cool. So he's doing some Saturday night until exhausted. For him, it's 10 p.m. because he's back in New York, right? New York or whatever. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. We're going to go raid Not Nang because I think he's a good dude. And I'd like to give Pear another try at some point. We gave Cursor a major try for some ghosty, like bash scripting stuff, which is cool. Everyone over on YouTube, well, thank you for showing up. I'm sorry that I'm ending now because I feel like we just got a resurgence of viewership over on YouTube. Appreciate you. But yeah, I stream 5 days a week. Tomorrow, Sunday, is a day off, but I'll be back here on Twitch and YouTube on Monday. And we will be really tackling the feature of implementing a sandbox env, which is going to really oh my God. We have to re-architect our entire back end as well. There's a lot of shit to do. So the sandbox environment thing is going to be an entire week worth of work. So YouTube, thank y'all for hanging out. I'll see y'all again soon. I'll be over on my gaming channel here on Twitch that is called Griffing and Chill. Maybe see you there. But yeah, I'm going to end the Twitch